Hello, my name is Trent Terry. Welcome to PopStar Analysis. This is where I take a look at a popular band or artist and give you my opinion on them. Today I'm going to talk about one of my favourite pop singers of this decade, Bruno Mars. Before I get started, I've got this hat. Inside the hat is a bunch of scrunched up pieces of paper, but on each piece of paper I've got the name of a popular artist. So at the end of the video, I'm going to pull out one of these pieces of paper and it's going to have who my next pop star analysis video is going to be on. Some of the names on these pieces of paper I love, and some of them I downright hate. So it's going to be interesting to see whose name I pull out of the hat. So let's talk about Bruno Mars. He's one of the most talented singers and songwriters of the 2010s. He's written a lot of songs for other artists, most notably Fuck You for CeeLo Green, and I'm like, fuck you. That's a really good song. It's one of my favourite breakup songs of all time. You have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and then they just dump you for somebody who's making a lot more money than you are. And I love the explicit version, not any of this fucking radio edit forget you bullshit. So as a songwriter, Bruno Mars is fucking brilliant, and a lot of other artists are seeking him out to write their songs for him. He released his debut album in 2010, Doo-Wops and Hooligans. It features the singles Just the Way You Are, Grenade, The Lazy Song. I'm going to admit something that I'm ashamed of. I hate to admit this, but when that album was released, I didn't like Bruno Mars. I thought that he was horrible. When Just the Way You Are and The Lazy Song first started getting played on the radio, I thought, oh, he's annoying, I don't like him. I can't believe that there was once a time that I thought that about Bruno Mars. I'm sorry, okay? I'm really sorry that I thought that. Just the Way You Are, I didn't like that song when it was first released, but now it's one of my favourite songs by him. I know it's a bit corny, it's a bit romantic, but come on, man. You gotta love a good love ballad every now and then. Bruno Mars also did a song for one of the Twilight movie soundtracks. I don't know which one because I don't fucking watch Twilight. It Will Rain is the name of the song. That is a really good song. Probably the best thing in the Twilight franchise is that song by Bruno Mars. He's even collaborated with a lot of artists like B.O.B., Wiz Khalifa, Eminem. When his second album came out in 2012, Unorthodox Jukebox. Now this is around the time that I really started to love Bruno Mars. Like I heard Locked Out of Heaven and I was like, oh man, maybe I was wrong about this guy. He is really talented. Like this is a really, really good song. And there's also the song Treasure on that album, which I really love that song as well. Bruno started bringing this Motown flavour to his music. It sounded like a lost Stevie Wonder song from the fucking 70s. Bruno's music stands out amongst the bunch. I can tell it's Bruno Mars when I hear one of his new songs on the radio. Like with most modern artists, like you got all these artists, they sound the same. You can't tell one from the other. That's not Bruno Mars. Like he's got a distinct voice. Like you can tell who he is straight away. When you hear one of his new songs on the radio that you've never heard before, you're like, oh, that's Bruno Mars. It's really good because like in amongst all this EDM music, you got Bruno Mars with a song that sounds like it came out in 1976. And without a doubt, I know for a fact that in 30, 40, 50 years' time, people are still going to know who the fuck Bruno Mars is. He's not going to be one of these artists that just disappear under the cracks and are forgotten about. You know, he's going to be remembered. People remember the Beatles, people remember Michael Jackson, and people are going to remember Bruno Mars. I haven't talked about my favourite Bruno Mars song yet, and he's not even the main artist. He's the featured artist on this track. You guys should know what song I'm talking about. Uptown Funk. Uptown Funk You Up, Uptown Funk You Up. It was released in 2014, and it's by Mark Ronson. Like, he's a fucking producer or some shit. But Bruno Mars does the vocals, and he absolutely kills it. I remember the first time that I ever heard Uptown Funk. I was doing work experience at Dimmies. That's a retail store in Australia. I'm just saying that for all you people that don't live in Australia, and you're like, what the fuck's Dimmies? So yeah, I did a lot of work experience at Dimmies, and they had the radio playing in the store. I heard the DJ at the radio station saying, oh, here's a new one by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. And then they played the song, and I thought to myself, what is this song? I need this song on my phone. Like with most songs on the radio, it takes me a few listens to actually get into the song, but with Uptown Funk, it hit me straight away. I knew that in 30 years' time, when people look back at the 2010s, people will say, Uptown Funk, that was a huge hit of the era. After that, Bruno Mars released his third album in 2016 called 24K Magic. The self-titled song from that album, 24K Magic, got played on the radio. I thought to myself, for fuck's sake, Bruno Mars has done it again. He's came out with another modern classic. I know that 24K Magic is pretty much Uptown Funk Part 2, but it's still a really good song in its own right. One thing that I really like about Bruno Mars is that most of his songs don't sound like the typical music from the decade that they were released in. 24K Magic, it sounds like I'm going back in time to 1982. He's had songs that sounded like they were from the 70s and the 80s. And then with his newest hit, Venice, like that song sounds like it came from the 90s. It sounds like he was trying to channel his inner New Kids on the Block with that song. Bruno Mars is just a fucking hit machine, and I want to see what he is going to do next. Because I know that whatever Bruno Mars does next, it's going to be fucking gold. So that's my thoughts on Bruno Mars. Like, I think he's a really, really talented person. Now, here's the hat. I'm really nervous about this. I don't know how I'm going to do it because I'm holding the camera in one hand and here's the hat in the other. So I don't know how I'm going to, pull a piece of paper out of this hat. Okay, so I had to come to the couch to do this. But here's the hat. It's on my lap here. So I'll just shuffle it all around like this. So I don't know whose name I'm going to pull out of the hat. Alright, let's get it all shuffled. Mix it all up. Alright, so... Alright, now I've got one. I don't know who I got, but... Okay, I got Sam Smith. So yeah, my next PopStar analysis video is going to be on Sam Smith. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel. I need the support. My name is Trent Terry. See you next time.